Welcome back, everyone. You know the saying, if you can't love yourself, how will you love someone else?
Well, joining us now is life coach Kate Strong with ways we can start to love ourselves a little bit better. Looking beautiful in pink.
Thank you. I feel great in pink.
Hi. Welcome back to the show. So you were listening earlier when Kristen was talking about if you don't want to be single this Valentine's Day, here are a couple things to do. And you say there's a place you should start.
Yeah, I believe it's an inside job. We love ourselves first, and then when we turn on and light up within, then we attract what we want in our lives.
And you say appreciate yourself. How do we even start doing that?
Okay, I'll tell you how I started. You know, I'm getting older. My hands look more like my mom's than ever. And I used to look at them and really criticize myself. And when I started rubbing lotion on my hands and being grateful, I started thinking about the diapers that I've changed and like the different things that these hands have done for me. It's really powerful. So it's about changing the voice in your head. We're so good at criticizing ourselves, especially as women. We look in the mirror, it's like, oh, let me focus on all the things that I want to fix. But when you can shift that and start to notice, what am I grateful for? What do I love about myself? There's a different energy, there's a different feeling. And that's when we start to cultivate that self-love. So it starts with little things. I love earlier that she talked about micro behavior. It's the tiny things. A lot of times we think, oh, I'm going to go all the way up here. I have this New Year's goal. How many people are still aligned with those? They were they were probably shooting too high. So what are the little things, right? It's just like notice your hands and put lotion on them and moisturize and give gratitude. And when I put lotion on, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm like slowing down and like, thank you for these arms, and I'm grateful for all of the things that they carry and how they serve me.
But Kate, is it a process? Did you immediately start appreciating yourself,
No.
or did it take time?
I've been doing this for a decade consistently. It takes consistency, and here's the thing, when we catch ourselves in that negative mindset, you just have to expect it. Oh, here I am again, of course I'm here.
Well, and you know what I think about is my kids. I appreciate them, and I'm being more vocal about appreciating their every move in their relationship. Then why can't we do it with ourselves?
We're so good at giving love away, which is Valentine's Day for many of us. It's like, oh, who's your Valentine? Well, what if you can be your own Valentine?
Well, let's buy yourself flowers. That's number 2. And did you get that from Miley Cyrus?
I did not, but I love that she says you can buy yourself flowers. I buy myself flowers a lot. I remember one time in my single life, I was longing for flowers, right, for Valentine's Day specifically. And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go buy them for myself. I'm going to give those to myself. And now I'm not waiting or longing for someone to give me something because I'm giving it to myself first.
It kind of gets you excited, actually, because when you buy the flowers, it gives you that dopamine. And then when you're able to put it in your home, and every time you look at it, it's like, I did that for me.
Yeah, and you get exactly what you want.
Trader Joe's moved in down the block. I've started to buy myself a lot of flowers.
That's right. It's my favorite.
But you're right. People say, where'd you get these? And I say, from me.
Yeah.
From me. All right. The last one you say, write yourself a love letter.
Yes.
What are we saying to ourselves?
Yeah. A lot of times this can be really uncomfortable for people. And so just be honest. So write down the things that you really believe about yourself and what you're grateful for. It can be affirmations. We hear about those all the time. I am statements. Or it can just be gratitude. The fastest way to change the way you feel inside is gratitude. And so what are you grateful for about yourself? What have you accomplished? We are so good at celebrating, you know, the things that aren't going well in our lives. Celebrate the wins. So start with what you're grateful for.
I could see that being emotional, doing that practice. How often would you say you would do that?
Well, until it becomes less emotional, honestly. It's like until it becomes like, oh, I can say this about myself and not just be completely falling apart. So do it until it feels good.
Kate, what's the difference between saying it out loud to the mirror, putting it in your phone, or physically writing it down?
Well, there's something that happens in our brain when we physically write it down. So we're not only thinking it, but we're actually like speaking it and writing it. So it's a 3-part thing that is really effective. But the mirror work and the eye work, if you want to look at yourself in the mirror and say those things, talk about uncomfortable, that's a step 2. After you write it, then speak it in the mirror. Look at your eyes and say that to yourself.
Ooh, you gave us a 4th step.
Yes.
What transformations have you seen, Kate, people who follow this practice?
Self-love. I can look at someone and they literally do not look the same after an amount of time. You can just start to notice there's like a light that turns on, you know, it's like this light within, and then they walk into spaces and you're like, wait, what's going on? What have you been doing? So again, just these small little things, but we get to love ourselves more. We're really critical. We're really hard on ourselves. So I would just say, start with one thing. What's one thing you could do today to love yourself?
And this is for everyone single and in a
yeah.
relationship, because that's where what actress just said. They asked her, how do you make that long-term relationship work? And she said, we love ourselves first.
Yes.
I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah. It's an inside job. It starts with us. And when we feel good, we're not needy and looking for someone else to satisfy that within us. So we show up better in our relationships too.
Kate, I see why you are a life coach. If people want to get in contact with you, that information is there on your screen. We had a QR code as well, and you make it easy for us.
Yes, and there's a free gift. So I'm going to share some of my tips and things that I do every single day if anyone wants it.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you so much.